What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk about Healthier Choices Management, ticker's Hcmc. So I just want to give you a quick update. Some news came down the pipeline, and I want to talk to you about that and how that may or may not affect Hcmc in the long run. But before I get into any of that, you guys know the deal. Smash the thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. With all that said, let's get right into it. So as you can see, the defendant's memorandum in support of their motion for attorney fees. So it came out on December the 16th, so fairly recently. And I did highlight some areas that I do find relevant to touch on. There is 24 pages, majority of which I didn't really find really relevant. But at the end of the day, it does affect Hcmc in my opinion, and definitely could. So looking at this from day one, Hcmc's infringement theory was hinged on a false notion that the defendant's heat not burn IQS system combusts tobacco. And we as investors already know that, right? So scrolling down, there is a lot of good information on here. I highly suggest taking a look at it. But coming from this is a good summary of exactly things you need to know. And in reality, I can just skip right down to it because you don't really need to know Philip Morris's drawn out explanations on exactly why they feel Hcmc wasted their time, was a pointless lawsuit in their opinion, a lot of things like that. So, and at the end of the day, this whole document is all about that. Philip Morris explaining their case, saying that Hcmc wasted their time. But you can see the fee shifting provision from the Patent Act provides the court in exceptional cases may award reasonable attorney fees to the prevailing party. And just scrolling right down, there is again a lot of good information or a lot of pointless information, but depending on how you see that. So as you can see, the bread and butter of the whole document, defendants request the court to award them approximately $639,000 in attorney fees and non-taxable expenses, which they incurred in defending against Hcmc's objectively baseless infringement claim. So it's one of those things, how is that going to affect Hcmc in the long run? So with that, I do want to transition and talk on their quarterly results. So this is the last one that just recently came out in November. So you can see cash and cash equivalents is 28 million. That's how much they have, largely because of the debt offering. And I just want to say as well, keep in mind, Hcmc is an over-the-counter stock, and in my opinion does largely lose a lot of money every quarter based on their grocery chain, which is a big aspect of their business. But again, it is one of those aspects of Hcmc that does have the least amount of profit margin. And I've been saying almost every video that they need to focus on the Q Cup and also the vape store. Those are the more profitable aspects of their business. But again, that's a whole side note, and I've already touched on that quite a lot. So as well on here, you can see again, this is on the quarterly results. You can see the COO, Christopher, was receiving roughly about $400 million in 2021 for as far as the salary, and his salary will increase at a rate of 10% every additional year. So not only every quarter does Hcmc roughly lose about $2 million plus, but again, there is a lot of these factors built in. So I know there is a lot of people saying, well, 28 million is a lot of money and 639 is nothing. It's just chump change. But keep in mind, if you're taking the lawsuit aspect of Hcmc, that does take away from a large sum of money that is coming towards it. And when it comes down to it, like I've already mentioned, obviously Hcmc is a over-the-counter stock, not always the most profitable companies in there. They will need more additional money, and again, more of a dilution. I'm not here to spread any FUD. I just want to bring awareness to this because in case there's individuals that aren't thinking about that and just seeing 28 million and thinking that is a lot. 28 million at the end of the day, if you are subtracting all employment costs, because keep in mind, 400 million is just going to the COO as well, right? That's not including expenses, marketing, every aspect of that. If they do add on to this 639, that is just diminishing their cash that they do have. And like I said, they are losing money every quarter, so they will need to dilute. Again, killing investor confidence, which in my opinion has already been hit quite heavily based on the chart you can see going on here. One thing I do want to bring to your attention though, despite the news, despite everything that has come out, you can see on the momentum indicator, number of buyers has actually increased. So out of everything, that is very optimistic and good. And not only that, looking at the volume, so 945 million shares being traded on Friday, whereas the average is 595. So in that regard, it is fairly good. And we are actually starting to barcode on the higher percentile between 0002 and 0003. So insinuating that we may actually see more upside potential. Investors don't seem to really care about this. At the end of the day, yeah, it's not that big of a deal because they are still going to potentially appeal this because they do have up until, I believe, Valentine's Day, so February the 14th, 2022, to respond to this, because this isn't set in stone, right? HCMC could still come say, you know what, we actually did have valid claims, blah, 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 and this 639 might get wiped or reduced, something like that. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor nor a lawyer, so make sure you do your own due diligence. How I see things though, this might be of concern for investors. It doesn't really insinuate that based on how the price is acting and the volume and the actual indicators. So at the end of the day, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And if you are worried about that, keep in mind though as well, I do agree with some individuals, 28 million is a lot and they can do a lot of good things with that. I don't necessarily believe a lot of the HCMC investors that are just shouting out saying that they're going to be doing a buyback, blah, 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 because in reality, coming from a business standpoint, yes, a buyback is very advantageous and very beneficial, and it helps a lot of the investor confidence get increased, but 28 million, and that is very limited what they need, and I don't think they want to dilute any further, so they are going to be living off of that 28 million. Again, that is a pretty good chunk of change to do a lot of good things. I do strongly feel that they will be putting more money into the Q Cup. So at the end of the day, I do see a lot of advantages to HCMC as far as investing right now. And when it comes down to it, yeah, the 639 and Philip Morris is still lingering, still kicking around, but there still is potential for HCMC to appeal this. And not only that, appeal the general lawsuit that they did get denied in. So there is a lot of different factors. So in reality, I don't see this being addressed anytime soon until the broader actual lawsuit gets fully denied. Because again, they are intending on appealing that. So it's one of those things that it could go many different directions, and most likely this won't actually even get addressed until probably mid to late 2022. There is a lot of things in play, and we as HCMC investors know that. With that said, let me know your thoughts on HCMC in the comments below. If you are a true HCMC fan, give yourself a shout out as well. Let me know in the comments below how long you've been holding HCMC, because that, again, in my opinion, especially considering what we've been through in the grand scheme of things, give yourself a shout out. You guys definitely do deserve it. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on HCMC.